As a person who makes unsolicited commentary videos about situations within various art communities ranging from TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, you would automatically assume that I should know better than to use AI to make art and even post it on the same channel that I share these unsolicited commentary videos with my beautiful 600,000 subscribers. And by the way, please subscribe if you haven't, my good sir and ma'am. But alas, trying times we live in, and one cannot assume to understand what people are thinking in their deep minds. Because why will I post a drawing under my community tab and some of the comments are like, did you use AI? The foot looks disconnected from the rest of the leg and the hands look off, specifically the pinky on the left hand and pretty much all of the right hand. I'm an artist and that hand and the way a finger is just sticking out of the middle of it really throws me off, because it's not the type of finger mistake most artists make, and he's not even a beginner. Also, the way the foot is totally disconnected to the rest of the leg is also weird. However, it's very stylized, so that makes me not 100% sure it's AI. I think there's a possibility they made this with AI to see how many commenters caught on, so he could make a video on it or something.
I used to pay Midjourney monthly. Now I use this AI for a one-time cost and unlimited designs forever.
I don't know you or your work. I also don't want to accuse you of something, but the little finger looks like AI is struggling with hands again. Is this AI? The foot doesn't connect at all and the shading is very different to your other works. Putting your own art style into ChatGPT isn't any better. What am I reading? Putting my own.
It's his real work and it's still freaking people out that it might be AI. Yes, this was expected, so what can you do? But then just embrace AI and just stop complaining about it.
Own art into ChatGPT to make a drawing to post on my community tab that isn't even serious? I mean, 10 points to Hufflepuff since they figured I would probably turn this into a YouTube video. Oh, you darn right I am. You bet your horses I am.
Alright, listen here, Buster. No more Mr. Nice Guy. You don't want to see me angry. You're on thin ice, bucko. Why, I oughta. Hey, what's that sound?
Now, I understand some people who stumbled on this drawing may or may not have seen my art before and were possibly stumbling across my community post for the first time, because people who have been following me for a while now are quite aware that I routinely post my drawings under my community tab instead of posting on Instagram because I haven't been active on there. But I also managed to create a spanking brand new account just so I can post all these drawings on there, because a lot of you have been asking me where I post my drawings. The name of the account is Tubby with 2 Y's on Instagram, so make sure you go follow me on there if you want to see more of my drawings. But I'm also sharing
Nice drawings, bro.
some art on my Discord server and on Twitter as well, so you can join the Discord and follow me on Twitter, I guess. Now, according to the comments under this post, I have been accused of using AI, and apparently I'm under trial for feeding my art into an AI generator just so I could create fake art and share it with my audience, which just sounds pretty foolish, because why will I struggle for years learning how to draw and I'm still struggling learning how to draw now, only for me to feed my art into an AI to make art for me to share with you guys? That doesn't make any sense. But
It could make sense, but if you did it, I wouldn't complain. What's the problem? I mean, I don't use AI, but people who use AI, they have their reasons. They don't have the money to pay for an artist to do their work, or they're not as good. It doesn't matter to me. Just stop complaining, people. It's not that big of a deal.
But I still stand accused of using AI art, and since I cannot defend myself in a trial by combat, and also because this blatant accusation is happening on the internet, let's do something much less violently inclined, which is examining the evidence and arguments presented by the prosecutors in the comment section. Accusation number 1. The little fingers look like AI. Because of the way the little fingers are parting from the hands, is triggering the prosecutors into assuming this was made with AI. And that's because AI generators always have a problem when it comes to them drawing hands. And whenever they do draw hands, it always just looks disjointed for some reason, or the hands end up having extra fingers and more bones. In my own defense, I purposely like to draw 1 or 2 fingers separated from the rest, and I can't exactly explain why I like doing it, but it's just something I've been doing for the longest time ever. And I have also posted drawings on my community tab which also have hands that look like this. Some of them are not exactly in the same position, but you can still see one finger or a few breakouts from the regular shapes. I'll say I usually do this in my work when drawing hands because I like to play with big shapes and small shapes and have a balance between both shapes, which could be a small finger and the rest of the hand being the bigger shape. And another artist that inspired me to start drawing hands like this is Loish. Loish usually draws the same way when she draws hands. A finger is usually parted from the rest because it flows with the pose of the hand better, and the shapes read in a rather pleasing way. Ethan Becker literally has a video talking about this.
Those are some good drawings though.
This from a while back and explains it in a much more better way for people to understand.
Why the foe? Why the foe, baby? Why the foe? When in doubty, one finger outy, baby. That's what it's all coming down to. You go check out your favorite artists online and see how much they do this. This happens all the time in anime. This happens all the time in Instagram art. Look how she's simplifying these.
He's right about the anime thing. Even I do it sometimes.
Shapes in all of these hands. If you're looking at this image, this finger appears like it's popping out, but it's actually not breaking the the silhouette. Speaking of, all right, it's still when in doubty, one finger outy. She's still doing it. It appears like a full hand. Very important to go through and break these down and to see how she breaks the silhouette. Yet again, when in doubty, one finger outy, baby. All right, at this point, let's go and break down what exactly she's doing. Again, she doesn't really know how to draw hands, obviously, but we can still learn from her. We can always still learn from a freedom hater. Okay, so it looks like, whoa, look at all of these. Look at all these waves and all these fingers, and wow, it looks wrong. Forget all that. We're gonna break down the major shape here. What is the major shape? It's starting right here, and it's kind of looping around here, making a little mitten, and boom, gets stuck right there, bringing it back. All the other details you can save for last. This is an industry secret, and she's gonna be so upset with me. All right, so if you put it that way, I can see why she hates freedom. All right, so once you make this overall mitten, I need a word for it, like a, all right, let's just call it the 3-fingered mitten. Once you make the 3-fingered mitten here, you're gonna carve out the stuff that you don't need. Where does she carve out? She carves out right here. She carves out a little bit right there. At this point, you can go in and do the details if you want, but it's the overall shape that matters. When in doubty, one finger outy. When in...
Now, is this the right way or anatomically correct way of drawing hands? Probably not, but I'm not trying to be anatomically correct and draw everything exactly the way it is in reality, because that's just how it works. I enjoy stylized drawings that capture the
What the hell am I looking at, bro?
feeling and shapes of the pose, and that is what I tend to do in my work as well. Will it look wrong in some instances? Yes. Do I feel bad about it? Fuck no. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Accusation number 2.
By drawing daily sketches, you can develop discipline, improve your skills, and foster new ideas. It serves to relieve stress.
Good ad for this video. She's pretty talented. I've watched this ad before. Good ad.
This is AI because the foot looks disconnected from the body. This one is a tricky one because in the reference photo, the model posed in a way where her hands were covering her shins and her calves, which automatically makes it look like the foot was cut off from the rest of the leg. And I also had this in mind when I decided to make this image. And in fact, when I made this image the first time, the foot was too long because I was trying to be as accurate as the reference photo, and it just looked wrong and a tad bit too long every time I looked at it. So in the end, what I did was I shortened the length of the entire leg. Then I made a little part of the shin show underneath one of the hands. But then I put it in shadow so you wouldn't really see it unless you looked closely and were carefully dissecting the image, looking for mistakes and whatnot. And still on the topic of legs, another thing I noticed in the drawing which I could have changed or improved on now that I'm looking at it is the leg right here. It looks shorter and much smaller than the other one because the thighs are not in proportion with the other one. So now looking back, I should have made it longer and probably as full as the other leg. But one thing I'm really proud of is how I made the feet. I think I was able to simplify the shape and make it look really solid, and the shading was just the icing on the cake for the foodsie enjoyers. Accusation number 3. This drawing looks different from your other drawings because you used AI. Apparently, this drawing looks different from this, and this because for some reason the art style is different. I don't get it. If we look closely at other faces and this one, the underlying
Good drawing.
drawings all look rather similar, if I do say so myself. They all look the same, as if they were made by the same person. One thing I'll say that looks different is this one doesn't have strong hard shadows because the model in the reference photo is sitting under a soft light source, so most of the shadows look softer with very limited hard shadows, which in fact is called, I know some of you don't know this, but ambient lighting, which is why I'm assuming the AI prosecutors are accusing me of using AI because the drawing looks different. Apparently it's too smooth and every other accusation under the sun. But I didn't do it. I did not use AI to draw this image, but I wish that I had. Reading your vicious claims of me using AI to make art gave me more relief than 1,000 lying whores. I wish I was the monster you think I am. I wish I had enough AI art for the whole pack of you. I will gladly give my life to watch you all look at it, and I know I'll get no justice here, so I will let you watch this video to decide my fate. Mohammed Lannister. I'm never doing that again. Well, I don't have video evidence to prove my innocence to you, but I have something even better. The PSD file. So this is the image that got me accused of using AI. And as we can see here, I have 2 versions. This is the long one, and this is the one I posted. So let's go ahead and turn off all the layers so everything is clear and we can see where I started from. This, a basic sketch. It's simple, nothing crazy. And then after that, I cleaned up the sketch, and then I made the...
You know, the craziest thing is AI could probably just split up all the images. Can it do that yet? If it can't, it will eventually, so this method will not work in the future. Just get ready for it.
Selection, painted in some flat grayscale colors and some subtle variations on the skin, and then some shadows. And after that, painted in a little details, made some slight adjustments, and added in that little shadow here, and voila, that's literally it. Like, this isn't a complicated image. Like, why would I waste my time putting my drawing in AI just so I can make something like this is easy. This is just drawing off a reference. It's not even hard. This whole situation with AI art and artists getting accused of using AI at the slightest instance is genuinely getting insane. But to be honest, you really can't blame people for assuming a drawing is AI, because numerous so-called artists have posted drawings people automatically assumed were made by an artist, but then turned out to have been either made with AI or even made by tracing over AI as a way to escape the accusations. Take this popular Hatsune Miku drawing for instance. The artist posted this on TikTok and it got so many views on the platform, and a lot of people enjoyed the drawing and praised the artist for their sheer skills of making art. That is, until another TikTok user called them out when they posted this video. According to the person who posted the video, the artist had lied of making the drawing themselves when in fact they had used AI and traced it. And after this video was posted, they immediately tried to block the person who made the call out video while lying to their audience that they had made the drawing themselves. A lot of people in the comments were
For those people who lie about it, yeah, you can penalize them. But for people who just want to use it and say that it's AI and you're annoying them, just let them do what they want, man. It ain't that big a deal.
disappointed in the artist for lying to them about the drawing, and while the artist posted a video to prove their innocence and tried to save face, the video was immediately debunked as fake, as both images were still obvious traces of an AI image found on Twitter. The artist then had to post an apology video and try to clear their name from all the mess that had happened, but their name was already in shambles after the whole situation went viral on TikTok. Another quote-unquote artist was found to have been using AI for the longest time ever after they had posted several drawings in the style of another artist, which was then making everyone to think they were making.
Okay, you all get the video. He ain't one of those fakers who use AI, but for those who use AI, good on you. Get some work done, even if it isn't your work. It's all just a distraction, man. Everything is just complaining for nothing these days. AI was eventually going to happen if you look at technology and how it's advancing with all these things we use. It was first painting, now we do digital. Digital made it easier, now it's AI. Come on, people. It ain't that bad. Peace.